Good morning, family of God. I want to wish you all a happy, fresh new week, and I am glad that we are about to begin our week with the Word of God. Now, the verse for this week comes from the book of Genesis, chapter 32, verse 30. Genesis chapter 32 verse 30, and it says, "Then Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved." You see, talking about that important night in Jacob's life, a time where he has reached levels of prayer in his spiritual life. Ellen White puts it this way: that night Jacob wanted to be alone, left fettering with anxiety, solitary and unprotected. Jacob bowed deep in distress upon the earth. With earnest cries and tears, he made his prayer before God. Patriarchs and Prophet, page 196. You see, my brothers and sisters, instead of finding the peace Jacob sought that night, he came across an adversary with whom he fought until dawn. A mysterious struggle, a combat prayer, which I call the second level of prayer, which involves both moral crisis and bodily struggle. Now, who is this adversary? Jacob did not identify him, but he only perceived that he is not an ordinary enemy. You see, it was Christ himself who was wrestling with Jacob that night. When the first light of the morning appeared, the stranger gave Jacob a violent blow that dislocated his hip. With all his physical strength gone, Jacob clung to his rival with his arms around his neck. Now that is a third level of prayer. Total abandonment, total faith, and an act of God's grace which gives us peace of forgiveness and salvation. When the stranger said, "Let me go, the day is breaking," but then Jacob replied with an audacity of supreme faith, "I will never let you go unless and until you bless me." Now on that day, Jacob was blessed with a new name. You see, my brothers and sisters, on that day, that sinful human prevailed the heavenly majesty. My brothers and sisters, this week as you begin this new week, the only question that I want to leave with you is that, have you ever had a similar encounter with Jesus like Jacob in your life? Or else, have you ever had a time where you have reached levels of prayer in your spiritual life? If not, are you prepared? Are you ready to have that experience this week in your life? May God bless you. May you all have a wonderful week. This is Nelson Thanraj from Weekly Bread Ministry.